Just how good is Alex Mitchell? What a performance that man put in at Blackpool. Hope you're well. Charlie says, please, please, can we just sell Falston Park and pay 15 million for this man? He is absolutely class. Welcome back to our Pilgrims Walk. Hope you've had a great weekend on the seaside up north. Great to have you back with us talking about a rout and another away performance. We should just not play at home park. We should away from home, Argyle are absolutely stunning. Great to have your company back with us. Lots to talk about this week. We're going to wax lyrical about the goals scored against Blackpool. Top half of the table. Dare we? Dare we? And who else impressed you in that fantastic performance? We've got midweek games to talk about as well. But Reese, I know you were at a wedding, so didn't perhaps see it all live, but you've managed to watch it back. Can you sum up Alex Mitchell in a couple of words?
Well, he heads everything, including boxing gloves, it appears at the moment, or a boxing bag on the way home in the services. It appears he's headbutted at one point, which is quite amusing. Now, he is. He really made me a bit nervous at the start of the season, as did most of the team, to be fair. But he's really seemed to have found his feet, and every single part of his game, he's improved. His passing's got so much better, his composure's got so much better. But now he just seems to be that everything that comes near that box, he heads away. It very much reminds me a bit of a Sonny Bradley when we had Sonny playing for us. Everything that went in that box, he heads away. I mean, from the looks of it, the stats, we didn't have a lot to defend on Saturday. I think it got to about 70th minute before they even had a shot, which was, says everything about the defensive performance and the way we played the whole game, really. But yeah, no, Alex is he's really starting to shine, and I've heard today they are now in talks with Charlton about making the move permanent as well, which is absolutely brilliant news. I think it's probably a really good start for the summer. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they had a bit of fun on Twitter this week, and a reply with items Alex Mitchell could head away. We had everything on there from Keir Starmer to the Charlton contract extension, Chris. Yeah, I mean, you were there. I mean, did you tell me you weren't at the burger stand getting a beer when at half time when those goals flew in?
For one of them, I was. The third one, I was, yeah. But I saw the first two, and I was happy with that. I thought, right, only a minute to go, probably less than that, and we went and got a third Boltang. So I saw that one on the way home. But what a day! Unbelievable! I've got to say, to be honest with you, and it's only my personal opinion, and probably some might slate me for it, but Blackpool is a place. I remember that in the 70s, and it was brilliant. You knew what you were going to go up to. You knew it was going to be a good weekend. Flipping heck, the actual place itself has gone downhill tremendously. For the worse as well, and it upsets me to say it, because I don't like to see seaside towns like it is. But I was amazed at how run down Blackpool's become. There was two highlights of it for me. The tower's still there, and it's iconic. And I thought the ground was great. I thought Bloomfield Road itself was a superb ground. But the rest of it, I was happy to get the 3 points, 4 goals, and go home. But yeah, what a day. I mean, it wasn't all about Alex Mitchell. Yeah, he was one of the star men. We had a few up there in midfield. Herbie Kane, absolutely outstanding, along with Ronan Curtis as well. People stepped up to the mark, and that's what you want to see, Mark, because we were missing Tolai. And what happens? My favourite, Ben Peppel comes up and he knocks it again. And you can't knock a guy. What's that? 5 goals now in 6 games or something, and he scored 8 all season, and he's in the right place at the right time. Last week he's done his eye and he's played Saturday. This week he's chipped a tooth going in for it. Tomorrow night against Leyton Orient he'll probably break a leg and he'll still score.
Don't say that. Christ.
But he'll be okay for Saturday. He's one of them, he's iconic, he's natural battery ram. But it was a great performance, to be honest with you. We went out from right from the start and we took it to them. Joe Edwards showed what he was about at right back, and he made a captain's role. And in his very first challenge, in the first minute, you knew that we were going to have a good day. Having said that, Blackpool have got things to worry about, and I mean not only off the pitch but on the pitch. They were a poor side, and I fear they're going to be one of the four down in amongst the relegation scrap at the end of the season.
We wing up a lot of negatives on there, and some people in the comments say you're so negative on this show. Let's put some positives up there. Jack says, I never want to play at home park again. Pilgrim Petey was on saying, superb, boys. Let's now go and take it on Tuesday night. Vince says, perfection. All over the pitch to a man, pure domination, and it was the perfect away performance. Absolutely. Not a single moan from anybody this week whatsoever. Last week we were talking goalkeepers, Reese, of course, as well. Now, of course, Hazard was back in goal. Didn't have too much to do. It's fairness, but Jack says play him even if his legs were falling off. And do you think it's just that the back four, just knowing that perhaps he's there rather than perhaps somebody else?
Yeah, I think so. He's got a clanger in him. We know that. We know he's got his problems with coming off his line at times, but we know he knows how to organise his back four. He knows how to. He's a shot stopper. He's a very good shot stopper from distance. You know, if it gets past him, he's going to make an effort to stop that ball. You know, there's none of this kamikaze sort of goalkeeping that we see with certain someone else. And I think it just gives that bit of reassurance. You know, sometimes that can just be enough for a defence, can't it? They just give that confidence that they got in the goalkeeper, and it's not Michael Cooper confidence, but it's a proper confidence, and they suddenly feel that they can go into a bit more of a challenge, and knowing if it doesn't quite come off, I've got a lad behind me who's going to get me out of a hole, and that's what you want from a defender. You don't want a defender ever worrying, oh, do I have to go into this in case Clanger behind me is actually on the halfway line for some random reason.
Yeah. We took Caleb Watts for a bit, Chris, as well. Many fans are saying that, you know, he was robbed of the Man of the Match award. Again, what a stunning performance he put in.
He totally did, and he deserved his goal, Mark. I'm not going to put him down as a man of the match, to be honest with you. I thought there was a couple ahead of him. As I mentioned earlier, Herbie Kane, I thought was outstanding. I thought Ronan Curtis was outstanding. Caleb Watts done well, and he scored a great goal. Took it well, you know. His left foot right down, and he never had a lot of room for him to score. That keeper only left a yard or so to his left, and he found it. He hit the ball down and bounced up, and that was it, 4-0. And hopefully that gives him confidence, because that's what we're lacking with some of these players. We want to see a little bit more out of Zaire Amici. He needs confidence. He needs a goal in his locker. Start of the season, he was outstanding, but we haven't seen it since he's come back. Whether he's still got issues with his injury, you know, getting match fitness, etc. But for me, Zav's been struggling. Caleb, on the other hand, he's not been struggling, and I love having Caleb Watts in the side, to be honest with you. Absolutely superb player.
I think the thing with Zav is he doesn't seem to have forced himself into the team or even as a impact sub, has he? He's not. So he's not just allowing himself to get match fitness. There's no sharpness there because he just can't force his way in. And Caleb has got maybe lucky with Tolly's injury, but it's allowed him to force his way back into the team. And now he's I wouldn't want to be cleverly for going into tomorrow night's game making a selection of those the three forwards at the moment.
I totally agree, and that's the headaches that Tom needs, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tom wants headaches, and he's not been able to have those headaches because the team has picked itself for a number of matches now. We've got tension. Yes, we've got one or two injuries now with Brendan Galloway. He's going to be missing for about 3 weeks with an hernia op he's having today. But you want those issues, don't you? You want players back in the side that can give you an headache. Who do I pick? Who do I leave out? And he's going to be picking a side tomorrow with Saturday's game against Cardiff in mind as well.
Yeah.
But if we've got over the two, tomorrow is the one that we really want the 3 points from, because that's the one that, you know, is going to earn us some.
Yeah.
Can I ask you about the Luton game as well? Because some fans have suggested, maybe Reese, that with Cardiff, where they are in the league and how well they're playing, that this Saturday actually he could afford to maybe change the squad around and actually play the stronger squad come Tuesday night at Luton, which is arguably the more important of the two games.
Yes. However, I think the home form will come into it. And I think he will be petrified of losing another And certainly a performance like Lincoln, I think you'd be scared of another performance like that. I think we all can go into the Cardiff game accepting that if we get a point, we're very happy. However, we're all more interested if we hold our own and do no disservice to the badge. We say, the Lincoln game was a disservice to the badge. It wasn't what Plymouth Argyle was about. If you do that on TV and in front of the home crowd, things turn nasty again. And we've seen the last week, things flipped out of absolutely nowhere, and it all got very nasty, and it all got a bit. And then they've rewarded everyone back this week with a fantastic performance. And I think that's the only thing that'll be in the back of Tom's mind. I think I do agree that probably the Luton game is far more important than. And if we were playing Cardiff away, I'd 100% agree. I think you'd probably be looking at a massive change, well, not a massive change, but certainly a rotated squad. I think the home problem probably adds a little bit more of a complexity to that.
Okay, just on that Luton game, Chris. I mean, should Luton even be in it? Shouldn't you just be given to the semi-final?
No, I think we should have had that bye, Mark. How can they play that? It's undeserved, isn't it? They've just lost a game. Okay, Swindon shouldn't have done what they did, but could they have had a replay? Could Luton, we have had a bye. I don't think it was handled very well. And the fact that all of a sudden we've got to go up there to Luton, why couldn't it have been, if necessary, played at home park? They want to be in it. We'll let them come down to our place and play instead of us having to travel up there and all the expenses that go with it. It just seems a little bit farcical to me, and I don't believe that Luton should be in it anyway.
Imagine if they go and win it, the whole thing. It just makes them a complete and utter farce. And the entire, well, you won it, yeah, but you lost. So how can you win it?
Completely tainted it, doesn't it?
Completely. It taints it for them. It taints it for everyone, and it just sort of another reason that this. I'm not a massive fan of that trophy in the first place, but it just adds another reason that it's a bit of a farcical.
No, I totally agree. I mean, the Virtue Trophy is struggling to sort of build itself up, and incidents like this is not helping it. And like I say, why couldn't it have been that home park? And Luton dipped out, and they're still in it, but they've got to come to our place instead.
It's a Luton side that's actually doing all right at home. They were awful on the road, but doing all right at home. And suddenly the odds are in their favour. They've been prepping for us for weeks. It helps. It was someone we played not long ago. Yes, I think that helps. But the fact that we only found out a week ago, and we were meant to be playing them tomorrow, it just adds. Oh no, we were meant to have them play them last Tuesday, weren't we?
Yes, and now we're playing next Tuesday.
Yes, so we've
it's just a joke.
2 weekends in the trot in the capital. Yeah,
Bill, before we leave that game there, I'm sure you've heard Alex Mitchell's interview as well. One of the best interviews I've had in a long, long time. Credit to you, Alex Mitchell. Brilliant that we don't have to listen to lots of football cliches. Stunning one.
Stunning 30-yard strike, wasn't it?
Yeah, 30 yards.
30-yard streamer.
Yeah.
Brilliant. We're up to letter P in our A to Z of Argyle, so stand by for that. Good discussion last week, you two, on the letter O, by the way. Thank you for that. Now, but next week they're up to Q. Now, here's the thing. Has there ever been an Argyle player with a surname beginning with Q who's good enough to get into the A to Z? You've got a week to think about it. Let us know in the comments.
So we've got two stipulations on us. They have to be Q and good enough.
And, well, it's an A to Z. We're not putting any riff-raff in there. Come on. So we'll shout you out on here next week. We'll put your name on the screen in big lights and say you've helped us out. So get thinking on that one. But yeah, I mean, top off the table, we're talking playoffs and promotion and everything. I mean, Cardiff are going up, aren't they? I think Lincoln are going up as well. Based on what you've seen, both of you, the third team that you think deserves to go up out of this league is who?
I think based on the second half, possibly Stockport. I think the second half they showed why they're up there. I haven't seen many teams come to our home park and actually warrant where they are in the league. Like the Luton stuff, they were very, very poor at our place. Bradford weren't great. I'd like to see Bradford, not because of Bradford, but I'd quite like Sarcevic, and I feel he deserves probably to go to the Championship once and for all. He'll probably leave and go back to League Two because that's what he does. But yeah, I'd probably Stockport is probably the strongest team I've seen, home or away.
Okay. Yeah, and we are top half of the table, Chris. We haven't said that in a while, have we? It's nice to see us above that halfway line.
Oh, it's superb, Mark. Honestly, it makes my weekend when I see us above them up the road.
Yes.
Put them something else then, but something to do with bathwater. But yeah, yeah, but 12th position, it's superb. I mean, to think that we're all playing a game tomorrow night and we could have that opportunity of going ahead again. They've just lost their manager up the road. Things are not going to be superb for them. I hope they get what they deserve, and where that'll be. But to put us up in that top half, I mean, look, it is a roller coaster of a season, and everyone's beating everyone else, isn't they? Cardiff is running away with it. Lincoln looking good, especially on set pieces. But the next four, it's just changing places on a weekly basis, isn't it? And we're still, what are we? I think we're 5 points off the bottom four now, and we're 7 points off the top four. So it's there to play for still, and it's still.
It felt like a few weeks ago it was starting to expand, and then suddenly the whole league's contracted again, and it's gone back to where it was, which is horrible.
Yeah, I mean, just before Christmas, we were driving down that motorway doing 70 mile an hour, and then all of a sudden after Christmas, we suddenly come to a flipping halt, and we were doing about 40, getting speed tickets, and now we're back on that road again, aren't we? We're shooting back up there. So long may it continue, and if it does, who knows? Top four, love it.
The roller coaster of Argyle on it last week. You were like, "Yeah, we're getting relegated this week, top four."
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I saw that roller coaster on Saturday, the big one.
Not for you, Chris. No,
it's falling down a bit like Blackpool. I've got to.
We're on one every freaking day of the week. It feels at the moment.
Right then, let's have a chat about the letter P, shall we? Who've we got this week? Pilgrim Pete, he needs a mention.
Well, I'm going to chuck in a worthy mention. A worthy mention for me is an old mate of mine, to be honest with you. Mark Patterson. We got him from Derby. He made 144 appearances for us between August 93 and May 97. Scored 3 goals at full-back. But the most important thing for that man, he provided the superb cross at Wembley 96 for Ronnie Morget to score against Donington to put us up. The only time we played at the old Wembley, and we can say we won. But for me, the man.
Let's not talk about the new Wembley, then, should we not?
No, we won't talk about that one. I just said we'll talk about the old Wembley. The new one, we might have been a couple of times and not got anything out of it. So we'll keep that to ourselves. But for me, the letter P, you're making me forget all about the letter P now, aren't you?
Sorry.
P is a man back in my heyday of when I've again first started supporting Argyle back in the 60s, 65. Norman Piper. Well, Norman Piper made 233 appearances for us and scored 37 goals between January 1965 and April 1970. He came from a local side football in Hatherley in Devon. He started off at a fullback. He's only a small guy, but he switched to midfield. He got Player of the Year in 1966, 67. And followed that, he was then made captain, and he was Argyle's youngest ever captain at 19. Then in 1970, he was chosen to represent England, at which I was there, under 23s against Bulgaria at home park. And I think we beat him something like 8-0 or something. And he played alongside Peter Shilton and Tony Curry. But then he shot off to Portsmouth almost immediately afterwards. They'd done a great deal and snapped him up for a few weeks later for a bargain £40,000. Typical Argyle, that'll do, 40 grand, lovely. And then he went on to make 300 appearances for Pompey and shot off to America when he'd had enough of Hampshire. But for me, Norman Piper, great player for Plymouth Argyle.
Okay. Reese, do you stand any chance against that?
Well, for once, actually, Chris hasn't nicked it. You've nicked it, Mark. I genuinely, I've looked through the list, and there's not a massive amount. I've got Jim Patterson, who played for us in 2011, 2014. I remember him vividly as I was growing up for some reason. I think he was a left or right back. Wasn't an amazing player, but did a job for us. I think we might have been in Championship still then when we had him. He was a good player. But I had club legend Pilgrim Pete. Because genuinely, there isn't many P's, so I'm struggling for Q next week.
Right then, Piper it is then.
Yeah, I do know the
name.
name Norman Piper. That is a name that you get taught as a in the University of Plymouth Argyle. So yes.
Brilliant. Right, we need your help next week then. Everyone in the comments, please. Q, has there been one? Can you think of anything? Have we beat QPR 8-0 or anything in our history that sticks in the back of our minds? Anything at all? We played Quidditch. Anything at all, let us know in the comments. Great to have you company, but great to see everyone happy again at this famous old club. And could we? Could we? Stranger things in football have happened. Catch you next week. Have a good one. Beat Leighton Orient, and could you even beat Cardiff? We'll catch you next week.